Who's cooler, Genshin or WutheringWaves? Who has better graphics? Who's more dynamic? Who has the juicier waifu? Whose locations are breathtaking and won't let go? Who is worthy to take the throne of King of Gacha Games? Tonight we find out. Greetings, traveler. Sit down, have some tea or something stronger and watch the battle of equals. Or maybe you'd like a bite of my specialty meat. The beautiful ladies and brave warriors of all races in our tavern will battle it out for the title of King of the Gacha Games in the left corner. GenshinImpact is the one who kickstarted gacha games in the open world, the award-winning brainchild of Hover Studios. In the right corner is a black horse that just came out, the brainchild of Kuro Games. What is it? A masterpiece or a failure that only claims victory for nothing? Will it assassinate Genshin, or will it be struck down with a single swing of its blade and fall to the ground? And a new round of gacha games development, a name for the valiant warrior, WutheringWaves. In the first round, we will compare their main characters, from which the narrative is conducted, and who will move the history of the world, and not only. Let's start with Genshin, and here we choose one of the twins from another world who got into Taiwan. They can absorb the energy of most elements and use it in battle, and we'll be searching through the plot for a lost brother or sister. Depends on our choice. In WUA, you awaken from your sleep as a wanderer. Everything around you has changed dramatically. Technological advances, architecture, and so on. The world has been taken over by something black, and there's a lot of it around the world. You've lost some of your memory, but some things are still active on an instinctual level. Battles and skills. The protagonist is plagued by constant headaches. The survivors seek hope in the glory of bygone days. They build cities and factories. They literally live the idea of rebuilding, of fighting, of hoping that someday it will end. As for you, wanderer from the other world, the protagonist comes from another world. No matter what led you to awaken, we welcome you to our troubled lands. And at first, we'll be controlling two elements, light and darkness. They're cool looking, especially the darkness. We look like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, with one wing and scythe armed, sweeping away enemies. In the first round, who will you give your vote to? Let's write in the comments. Round 2 begins, and here's the juiciest part. Gameplay and combat. There's a very dynamic, peculiar feel to the game. Look, simply, how he overcomes obstacles. Not just crawling on the wall, and runs. How cool, friends. Very juicy and dynamic looks. I really like it, got high when I played. Where are we on the action? Well, in my humble opinion, it's awesome. There are parries and counterattacks, and a lot of things. And what dynamics of the battle. It's just very dynamic and keeps you in suspense. From all that happens on the screen, there are weapons for you. Swords, fists, guns, and magical abilities. I give it a 10 out of 10. Dante from Devil May Cry. Just unparalleled to me. Very fast, beautiful, dynamic, and almost like Devil May Cry. Truly I got a power boost. So, shall we move on to Genshin? Here, we have much less dynamics, but with its own thing, namely, the reactions between the elements. Examples of water plus ice give freezing, whereas fire plus electricity does. Yeah, that's the one. As for the combos of the characters themselves, not very dynamic and not always strong. It's more about the reactions and abilities of the characters. It's not always possible to keep the momentum going and build up, though. It depends a lot on the character and the parkour system in Genshin. At most, you can only climb walls, trees, etc. No more, and glider. As far as I'm concerned, friends, I give the win in this aspect, WutheringWaves. Also, Leave your feedback, comments, and your opinion. Glad to read it. Phew, what a lot of excitement. What's next for us, And that's round 3, namely the locations and entourage of the games. Genshin is full of colors, and as I think my exuberant head, it is more located for children, still, and teenagers, as there are beautiful, brightly colored landscapes with their own styles and a good concept. At the same time, WutheringWaves is also a very beautiful on graphics game with its gorgeous locations, and not only, more in moments gloomy, frightening, but also beautiful. I think still made for an older audience, and the genre refers more to a post-apocalyptic world than the usual fantasy about the Middle Ages and beyond. It's complicated. Both fighters show spiffy performances and decent graphics. Here, I'll recommend it this way. For those who like it brighter and nicer, go for Genshin. And for those who like it darker, heavier, but with a beautiful world in a non-standard setting, go for WutheringWaves. But I really like the entourage of both Genshin and WutheringWaves, so I'll leave the choice up to you, my caretakers and guests of our warm tavern. I think we should have a beauty contest instead of round 3.
What a twist!
Let it be so, friends. There will be 3 nominations from each game, and only you, yes, only you will be able to choose your favorite heroine from each game. 1 nomination, the smallest and cutest girl in the game. From the Genshin side will be participating Klaya, a cute little elf girl with a mania for explosions. And the second one is Sayu, a shinobi ninja from Inazuma who likes to sleep and wields a 2-handed sword. There are also 2 cute girls on the WutheringWaves side. It's Encore, Pyro Girl with her demon lambs, who acts as the main damager. Greetings! The second contestant is a nature and color lover who flies Leons and acts as a healer and buffer. And that's Verena, the sweetest little girl with the element of light. The first contestants have passed. Now the middle segment on form and beauty will be 1 contestant each. On the Genshin side, there will be an electro damager vixen, the Kitsune Yai Miko, straight from Inazuma, who has electro damage, a seductress of hearts, and a schemer. On the WutheringWaves side, there will also be an electro damager, seducer of the hearts of the community, master puppeteer, and this, Yinlin, an elf that will win more than a few hearts when it comes out. It's hot, it's hot. Let me get some ale. And now for the final contestants, which will be Miss Biggest Forms. Let's go. And first up is Genshin Mommy. You all know her, the librarian from Mondstadt and wizard of the electric element, with an alluring voice and the most beautiful design and figure. And her eye color's intoxicating. And it's Lisa. Against her comes a masterful woman armed with a 2-handed sword, wielding sturdy shields in outstanding form, who loves to pose and sleep. Taoki, beautiful and deadly. Oh, she's so hot the heat of the moment, it's a reason to pour yourself a refreshing cold drink. Here comes the end of the clip. Our warriors show excellent indicators of spirit and beauty, and it's up to you to decide who becomes king. Thank you all for diving into these beautiful worlds together today. There will most likely be a second part, but more on that later. And that's it for today. See you, traveler, in our cozy tavern. And the breath was old fur.